Hey guys, Ben Pocket here, and today we're going to be ranking every EX from Shining Revelry. So let's just get into it. I'm not going to delay. First up, the worst EX, in my opinion, in Shining Revelry is Tinkaton. Tinkaton is not good, in my opinion. I think it's a very bad card. It takes 3 energy, which is a lot. Now, you can use Dialga EX to power up Tinkaton, but even if you do get Tinkaton online, it does 80 damage, and you flip a coin, and if heads, it does another 80 damage. So you basically have a coin flip of killing your opponent's active Pokemon or not. And it's stage 2, so it just takes a long time to get here. And even if you do kill your active Pokemon, by the time that you get here, you probably have some damage on you. And it just, out of all the EXs for me, just feels like the one that you really have to work to get it to fit in a deck. You have to build the deck around it, and even then, it's just not great. So, number 9, worst EX of the set, Tinkaton. Next, we are going to grab this guy. He is fine. He's a fine card. It's just Bibarel is not really doing enough. I feel like that's the best way to explain it. It's not doing enough for how much energy it costs. It's not doing enough for how high its retreat cost is. And it's not doing enough for being a stage 1. I could see if this card was a basic and maybe had slightly lower HP. Crazy. So good. Very, very good card. But being a stage 1, you have to evolve. And at that point, you've probably already taken some damage if you're trying to use it as a tank. Healing 30 is fine, but, you know, if someone's trying to take you down, I don't know. 30 is not really necessarily going to stop you unless you combo with other cards. It's a good card. It's not a bad card. It's just, yeah, out of all the EXs, I put it. I haven't seen it in ranked at all. 0 ranked play for both of these 2 cards. So yeah, and that actually brings us to the first card that I have seen in ranked, which is Lucario. So I think Lucario is number 7 on our list. Shining Lucario. If I'm being honest, I think I've seen Shining Lucario in ranked usually because the person pulled Shining Lucario and wants to use Shining Lucario. That's it. Shining Lucario is fine. It does 150, 100 damage, and it does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. This is at random, so you don't get to pick who it's targeted. If you got to pick who was receiving the 30 damage, then I could see myself maybe bumping Lucario up one more spot. Maybe, but it's a good card. 100 damage is solid, especially when you're swinging early. The problem with Lucario is its energy. Fighting doesn't really have a way to ramp up for energy, so this is really just something that you have to get over a long period of time. And when you build up 3 energy on a Pokemon just to swing for 100, that's just not enough, especially when you're squishy, because 150 is not high enough right now. A lot of things hit for 150. So, and I mean, let's be honest, the regular Lucario is just better than the EX anyways. So that's why I put it. Our next one is, little sneak peek, it's Charizard. Now, let's actually grab the next 2. We got Charizard and we got Clodsire. Yeah. So here's the thing. I was going back and forth on these 2 for a little bit. Only because I haven't seen Clodsire in ranked play very much. I've seen people attempt to use Clodsire on a couple of decks. The problem with Clodsire is Pokemon Center Lady heals poison. And the other problem with Clodsire is that it's a stage 1, which can make things slightly difficult. I will say its basic does poison your opponent. So Clodsire can be very, very good, and it also does 60 damage for 2 energy, and that's kind of why I have it here. 60 damage for 2 energy with 160 health is actually fairly solid. Let's go to Char. Charizard EX is fine. It's a fine card. People would be running this card probably more than it's being currently run, except for the fact that the other Charizard EX is just better. It's just better, period, end of story. The other Charizard EX is better because you're not really going to get a chance to, like, because Char's a stage 2, it kind of feels a little awkward putting it up front, using Stoke, putting 3 extra energy on it just to get hit for like 150, and then you swing for 150, but if your opponent has a cape or they're playing a little bit more of a tanky Pokemon than like Gyarados, then it just isn't enough. And so if this was a little higher, if they bumped this up to like 170 or 160 even, I could see Char in a lot more situations and being used. This Charizard EX, but it's 150. It's not enough. Good card, but yeah, I think Clodsire is just better. Okay, so now we're getting into the last 4. Before I do, if you haven't hit that like button or subscribe yet, you should, because these last 4 really do matter. They are cards I consistently see in ranked, and they are cards that, if I'm being honest, there's kind of a line right here, in a way. There's these 4 that are in ranked, and the rest of the cards that you might see here and there, but not really. So first up at the bottom of the 4, I put Wugtrio. Where are you? There you are. Wugtrio. So Wugtrio is a great card. It's a stage 1. It has 140 health, which is a little low, but its retreat cost is low, so that's nice. And it is water. Now, normally this 3 water energy would be a little bit of a pain, but with the way that water works right now, water has so much energy that, so many cards that can help build up water right now that it's just not really as much of a problem. And it does 150 damage, but randomly. So it does 50 3 times to the entire field. And there are situations where you can get very much hurt by this, where it doesn't work out. But also, there are situations where you can kind of throw a trio out there as like a shield and just get damage everywhere. And then at that point, your opponent's Pokemon are all weak enough to die to, Origin Form Palkia, Gyarados, maybe you're running Articuno. So I think Wugtrio is a great card and deserves number 4. So number 3, you know what? I'm just going to grab the last 3 because number 1's obvious, but it's Pikachu, it's Beedrill, and then obviously number 1 we have Giratina. So let's start over here. So Pikachu. The reason why Pikachu's number 3, I think Pikachu is a slightly underrated card that is starting to see some more play. Pikachu's biggest problem is its health. 120 health is really low, and so sometimes it's really scary to run Pikachu because you're dying to Meowscarada in one attack. You're dying to most EXs in one attack, and so that is kind of a scary thing with Pikachu. Another thing, they discard all of their energy from Pikachu when you swing for 150. If it was discard 3, I could see this Pokemon being a lot better. But since you discard all your energy, sometimes it's hard to ramp up Pikachu for a second time. The reason why Pikachu is number 3 is because I have been seeing Pikachu in ranked play, more so than Wugtrio. Wugtrio is great, and I was debating between these 2 on who I should put in number 3, but pick Pikachu because I think Pikachu has a greater ceiling. I think we could see Pikachu later on more often, and so that's why Pikachu's here. Now, Beedrill is an amazing card. Beedrill is great. 170 health is huge, especially with Leaf having lots of heal options. It's very, very good. Also, you discard 1 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, so sometimes you can just lock down decks with this. If you get Beedrill up early, It is very, very powerful. Also, Kakuna, it's stage 1, can paralyze your opponent with just 1 energy. That's another thing I love is the energy cost in general for this Pokemon is very low. So, yeah, and the basic Weedle, Weedle gets another Weedle out on the field. So it's very easy to kind of start pulling out the cards that you need when playing with Beedrill. So Beedrill is very strong. 80 damage for only 2 leaf energy with only 1 retreat cost. It is weak to fire, and fire doesn't have a super great presence right now. So that also is helpful for Leaf. I think in general Leaf is doing well because fire doesn't have much to run other than Charizard, like the first Charizard deck that was ever, top in the meta. They just haven't really received what they need. So yeah, Leaf is great. Beedrill's great. Pikachu's great too. And now, so yeah, our last is Giratina EX. This card is causing so much pain and anguish in ranked. It's in like every other deck that you run against. I swear 50% of the decks, you either play a deck that uses Giratina in some form or shape, or you play a water deck with Gyarados, or you play a Meowscarada deck. And like that's it. Those are like the 3 versions of decks you'll run into in ranked right now. Occasionally with Pikachu EX and Lightning showing up. Giratina EX has this ability right here, Broken Space Bellow, which lets it put 1 energy on it, but it ends your turn. And it is just so strong on a basic EX that can swing for 130. And it just lets it ramp up so fast. If you go first, it's actually a good thing because that means you can attack for 130 on your 3rd turn, which is insane. It also only has a 2 retreat cost, which is negated if you run Leaf. It also, is just not that high in general. It's weak to Dark, but I mean, Darkrai doesn't really do great up against Giratina, to be honest, because Red exists, so you can Red and just kill Darkrai. But yeah, Giratina EX is the best. I kind of made a tier list. Let me go over here. So this is the tier list of all of these Pokemon, like where I would put it. Again, there's definitely a line right here between these 4 and these 5, and then there's another line. I think Giratina is in its tier by itself, above these 3. And the reason I think that is because Giratina also just fits. Giratina fits in so many decks, and you can run it in so many different ways, and I can see Giratina being a card that people run for so long because of its ability. Yeah, I've seen some wild plays. Giratina doesn't even need Psychic Energy in like the energy pool to be able to be effective, which is also just crazy. So yeah, there's my tier list. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you feel like I got anything wrong, if I should switch around some of the positionings of these cards. I think I feel pretty good about it. If there was anything that I would switch, I could see myself switching 5 and 6. And I could also see myself maybe shuffling 3 and 4 and maybe putting Wugtrio above Pikachu. I just have been seeing Pikachu more, and I think Pikachu has some potential. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.